through this case, the prosecution talked about these really major deals, hundreds of millions of dollars in the late 90s, made by Mr. Berlusconi's media corporation, the effort to buy the television rights for a huge number of American movies. The prosecution made the case that these deals were arranged in such a way that the defendants were able to create illegal slush funds and then avoid tax on quite a large scale. And Mr. Berlusconi has now been convicted of tax evasion, but of course we can expect him to immediately appeal this verdict. He has the most formidable team of lawyers who are in almost perpetual fray on his behalf in the courts of Italy, and we can, as I say, be sure that he will launch an appeal very swiftly, I'm sure.
And an appeal process that could take quite a long time.
Indeed, Mr. Berlusconi has been tried a number of times in connection with his business dealings, but each time he's been acquitted, or the case has simply dragged on too long and fallen foul of the statute of limitations. But as I say, we can expect more of that, I'm sure, in the months and years ahead.
Is it surprising that it even got to this point on this occasion? And what does that say about his standing in society now?
Well, I think Mr. Berlusconi, always such a divisive figure and a diminished figure in Italian political landscape at the moment. He does, of course, retain a base of support. He's the most significant figure in the largest political party in Parliament. But his stock has been waning, of course. He left power in the state of some humiliation, with Italy really on the ropes about this time last year as the Euro crisis deepened. Through the summer, he toyed with the idea, kept Italy guessing as to whether he might try to make a political comeback, run again for Prime Minister in the elections expected in the spring of next year. But just a couple of days ago, going on television to say that he was ruling that out, that it was time for younger leaders to step forward. But of course, with Mr. Berlusconi, you always have to expect the unexpected, and many Italians wondering if he really is stepping into the shadows more.
Yes, because he has been known to come back from saying that before, hasn't he?
He has indeed, and never count against Mr. Berlusconi. He's been written off and so on a number of times. And of course he has, throughout his political life, had legal troubles hanging over him of the most serious sort. And as I speak, another trial is continuing, very serious indeed, where he's accused of paying for sex with an underage prostitute. That trial continuing in Milan and yet to be resolved.